All right, I'm gonna break down this Danny Garcia Mauricio Herrera fight. These guys are fighting at 140 for Danny's title out in Puerto Rico sometime in March. Real quick, a lot of people are disappointed with this fight. A lot of people think Danny should have fought either Lamont Peterson or moved up to 147. You know, I think every fighter that's put in their work, especially a fighter that dominated this division, you know, deserves their, you know, quote unquote stay busy fight. Okay. You know, I don't ever like to see a fighter just keep fighting top guy, the top guy, the top guy, the top guy. You know, I want to see longevity in this guy's career, Danny Garcia. You know, I don't want him to go out like Jermaine Taylor, just fighting top guy after top guy after top guy, you know. But anyway, I mean, I like the fight, well, mainly because Danny's fighting. You know, I'm a big Danny Garcia fan. But Mauricio Herrera, depending on how he fights Danny, this could be a tough fight, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, I've seen Herrera fight Dallas Jr. I've seen him fight Mayfield. I've seen him fight Alvarado, Provodnikov. I've seen him fight in one particular fight, the fight with Ruslan Provodnikov. I think if he fights Danny Garcia like the way he fought Provodnikov, I think it could be a very tough fight for Danny. You know, especially in the early rounds. Mauricio Herrera in that particular fight stayed on the outside, used his jab and his combinations from the outside. Okay, if he's able to keep Danny Garcia at the end of his jab and use his foot movement and control the entire ring, I think he can give Danny Garcia some problems. Okay, usually Danny Garcia is fighting guys that will fight him toe to toe. Okay, these guys, you know, especially like Amir Khan. Amir Khan has the ability to keep Danny Garcia, or he had the ability to keep Danny Garcia, you know, at range and, you know, just pick him apart from the outside. He had the ability to do that, but he did, because Amir Khan is a fighter. You know, he likes to get in exchanges. He likes to get on the inside. He puts himself in dangerous places. Okay, and that's why he got knocked out by Danny Garcia. But Mauricio Herrera, I've seen him do the same. But if he fights Danny like he fought Provodnikov and stay on the outside the entire fight, he might make it a close fight. You know, he can actually win this fight, because usually we don't see Danny chasing anyone down. You know, usually we see these guys come fight toe to toe, you know, with him, and this is why they always lose. But a guy with a jab, with combinations, with footwork, that has good, you know, ring generalship when he wants to use it, we haven't really seen Danny fight a guy like that. And depending on how Herrera comes in the fight, we can see that, and we can see Danny have some trouble there. But I only seen that in that one fight. You know, I mean, when he fought Herrera for Alvarado, you know, when he fought Dallas Jr., when he fought Mayfield, you know, he kind of was the aggressive at some points of the fight. And, you know, he fought these other guys fight, you know, and he didn't fight these other guys like he fought Provodnikov, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he's going to come in this fight. So basically what I'm saying is, if Herrera fights that fight that he fought against Provodnikov, he could win, or he could come close to winning. It could be a good competitive fight. If he fights any other way, Danny Garcia is going to destroy him. All right, Danny Garcia doesn't have much of a jab, okay? Doesn't have all the footwork, you know, he doesn't have much speed, but what he does have is he's a great counter puncher. He throws punches in a lot of different angles. He uses his angles well, okay? He throws punches from different angles. He has good combinations. All right, he has a lot of punching power, okay? And he's willing to adjust, you know, every time. He's almost always the underdog in his fights, and he always finds ways to adjust with his opponents and time them well. He times his opponents very well when he fights them. And this is one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite fighters right now. So what Danny needs to do is do what he does best. You know, just look for angles. You know, attack the body. You know, if Mauricio Herrera if he's gonna use his foot speed and use the whole ring, you know, Danny is obviously gonna have to chase him down. We don't know how good Danny is with doing that, all right? But if he does fight that way, you know, if he has to chase him down, I expect Danny to counter him often with that left hook that he has. He has a beautiful left hook. He has a beautiful straight right that he throws. You know, with a lot of power, knockout power with both hands, okay? So I see him countering Herrera. If he chooses to stay at bay, keep Danny at bay, I could see Danny countering him, but it's going to be very difficult if Herrera's going to fight that fight. Now, if Herrera doesn't fight the fight and Danny is able to stay close to him, I don't see Danny having a problem with beating Herrera. I don't think Herrera has ever been down, or I don't think he's ever been knocked out or anything like that. I'm not even sure if he's ever been on a canvas floor. I can't remember, but he's a tough dude. You know, he's not no slouch. He's tough. He has a good chin. He has a lot of heart. So I don't know if Danny is gonna be able to stop him, but at the same time, it depends on how Herrera chooses to fight him. Okay, if Herrera chooses, I see Danny winning the fight. Okay, I think Herrera is gonna be smart. He's gonna stay on the outside, make it tough for Danny, make Danny have to chase him down. But I still see Danny winning this fight by decision. Okay, but it could be a lot close, and if Herrera fights that way, if not, and Danny is able to get on the inside and Herrera tries to fight Danny's fight, I see Danny stopping him, you know, maybe around the 8th or 9th round, okay? So that's my prediction. I say Danny by decision. I think Herrera's going to give Danny some trouble, especially in the earlier rounds, because he's going to use his jab and try to keep Danny on the end of his jab and use his foot movement to keep the distance from Danny. That's how I think he's gonna fight. That's how I think he's gonna fight. All right. So you guys, just give me your opinions, your thoughts on the fight, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter.